I pulled over in a parking lot on my way home because I've been nervous about talking on camera. I pulled up YouTube. I did a search for talking to cameras, and the topic came off of yapping. And there were a few early 20-year-olds giving advice about yapping. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to yap, and I'm going to do the introduction to this channel. I'm Sue Adair. I've been a nurse for 28 years. This channel is named Thrive 55 Plus Nursing Advantage, and this channel is for experienced nurses and nurse leaders, as well as healthcare leaders and healthcare organizations. The mission of Thrive 55 Plus is to help nurses stay in their nursing careers until retirement. And not just retirement and barely get there. I'm talking, let's get nurses to stay in their nursing careers with dignity, with sustainability, so that when they get to retirement, they get to enjoy it. They get to travel and go to places they've been wanting to go. You can get on the floor and play with your grandkids. I did say healthcare organizations and experienced nurses on the same channel because we both care about nurse retention. We don't always come at nurse retention from the same part of the page, sometimes maybe not even the same book. However, nurse retention can be improved by healthcare organizations and experienced nurses getting together and working it out. It can't be one without the other. It has to be both in order to make a sustainable difference. When it comes to nurse retention, nurses are asking, how do I keep working like this? How do I protect my health? And if I can't keep working, I've got responsibilities. I've got to be earning money, and I've got to make it to retirement. Healthcare organizations, they are asking, how can we keep our nurses, our experienced nurses, in the hospital, in our organizations? How do we reduce burnout? How do we support nurses? The question that I keep coming to is, how do we keep nurses in their nursing careers? Currently, nurses are working the same way that they've been working since they first started. What I mean by that is, let's say when you were 28, you lifted and bending and reaching, moving patients. Now, decades later, and you're 58, what are you doing? You're lifting, you're bending, you're stretching, you're moving patients. It's the same job that you did at 28 with the same expectations physically of what you do now at 58, but you have a different body. Your body doesn't work the same way. There have been changes in your body. There's changes in the way you think and process information. There are changes in your own lives, outside of work. There have been a lot of changes through the decades. Currently, it feels like either do the job the exact same way as you always have, even though you've got all these changes, or leave. Thrive 55 Plus Nursing Advantage has 3 pillars: physical, cognitive, and workflow. Also, we talk of stages or phases of transition with the nurse 55 and over. One phase is survival. Survival is when you're in that survival thinking. Your body has broken down. You have not been able to find a job that's away from the bedside. There's a lot of competition out there for those good jobs and other types of nursing that's kinder to your body. So the state of survival, you're also in that survival thinking. When you're in that, your stress level has been high and it stays high. And we all know we end up in a state of our sympathetic nervous systems being chronically elevated. And the parasympathetic, it might dim the intensity down, but it doesn't go off. When the stress stays high like that and your body is constantly trying to regulate, then you get burnout and it starts growing. Your brain is foggy. Your thinking is less clear. And the ability to prioritize is diminished. Physically, your body is moving faster. Your feet are going faster. Your mind is in a state of hypervigilance. And this nervous energy comes out. That's survival mode. And when you're in that mode, it's hard to make good decisions. The next phase that we talk about is stable. That's where you're moving from survival phase into stable, then growth, and then thrive. Nurses are showing up at any of those phases. The goal of Thrive 55 Plus Nursing Advantage is to meet nurses where they are and help them get through the transitions to thrive until retirement. And thriving at retirement, like I said, that means you're not done with your life. Retirement isn't a resting place. The goal is not to barely make it by the skin of your teeth. The goal is to be able to get there and still have some leftover that you can go hiking if you want to, go trail walking, take some classes, whatever it is that you really wanted to do in retirement. Let me mention some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about burnout. How can you not talk about burnout this day and age? We're going to be talking about workday overwhelm, career directions, health and energy, income, retirement, nursing identity, and life outside of work. And we're also going to talk about leadership, nurse retention, role redesign, education, and practical support for experienced nurses. This channel is not about lowering standards. It's not about lowering expectations. It's not about assuming that nurses cannot do the work because they're struggling physically or cognitively or in the workflow. It's about keeping experienced nurses in the nursing workforce until retirement and beyond. Leaders need solutions. Nurses need support. Organizations need better ways to keep nurses that they already have. That is the work of Thrive 55 Plus Nursing Advantage. The second half of your nursing career, it deserves a plan. And your experience, your decades of experience as a nurse, that is your value. That is your nursing advantage. I'll catch you on the next video. Please like and subscribe, and please leave any comments.